When we talk about services, when we talk about e-commerce, a lot of things are related, interrelated. When we talk about services, e-commerce is a part of it. So as a platform, e-commerce is the mode. So a lot of things can emerge out of it, and I would like to highlight a few things. But before that, I must mention that the importance and the significance of this occasion is that earlier only I was supposed to come here, but we have been joined by our Vice Chairman, Mr. Karan Rathorji. Welcome to you again here. And that's the coincidence and the significance of the coincidence that the event gets elevated to a different level through our Synergy Association. And just briefly, I don't know, like many of you may not be aware of Services Export Promotion Council. It's a council under Ministry of Commerce, established very recently, youngest council I will say, in 2006, to take care of the services exports. You would have heard a lot about, even in my intro, you would have got the name Pharmaceuticals Export Promotion Council. Likewise, we have very old councils like Gems and Jewelry, Engineering Export. So on various commodities, there have been different councils. Total number of councils could be around 28, plus boards and authorities like APIDA and APIDA. Now, what is their role? It's very important to understand. The role is they act as an industry body as well as a government body. It's a platform. That platform provides both the stakeholders and all related stakeholders to talk about one common objective, is to promote exports from India. So when we talk about pharma, when we talk about gems and jewelry, it is about how you promote exports. And while promoting exports, we talk about ecosystem, like how, for any export, what do you require? You require market access information. You require what could be the regulations in those markets. You want to know as much as possible about a given market, your prospective consumers or prospective buyers, and at the same time, you also want to ease of the access of that market. All those related things. And at the same time, when we talk about ease of the market, we talk about the policy. Across the policy also, policy within the country, in what way it can provide that necessary impetus or leverage to access the market. So we talk about foreign trade policy and all those things, and various line ministries associated with it. So we keep on talking about all those things. So as a council, the role is enabling policy environment. The council's role is to provide you market information. The council's role is to complement your market efforts. So what do? We organize export promotion programs, events and activities, like a lot of buyer-seller meet, lot of exhibitions, councils participate, subject-wise, maybe a common one. So all those things try to bring to you to the market, and also enables you to use various schemes of Ministry of Commerce, like Market Access Initiative, and all such schemes where we provide airfare and other things also. Like other councils do, we do also the same. And one more important thing is to provide you or to build your competence. You may be aware of the market, you may be aware of the regulation. You also require a kind of hand-holding. Just being aware may not give you the market access. How you need to be raised to that level, competence building. So that competence building is also the role of the council. So in that space, we are in the services exports. It's very easy to understand the goods exports. In services, the modes of exports become very complex. In goods, what happens? You export a product from one country to another across the border. When it is shipped by whatever means, it is considered to be an export. In services, there could be 4 modes of export. This may be for academic knowledge, but it has got some relevance with the theme with this particular show as well. That's why I'm highlighting this. 4 mode. One is the digital transfer of whatever service. Telemedicine, for example. Any idea you can transfer if it can earn money. Okay, so anything transferred digitally is your mode 1. Mode 2, tourists coming to India. Medical tourists coming to India, people coming to restaurants coming to India. Mode 2, where the consumer comes to the country and consumes the services. Mode 3 is a permanent entity opened outside the boundary of the country. So you can have educational institute, you can have hospitals established, and they can locally collaborate, and through joint venture or through independent entity, they can perform the services, and whatever exports country can, remittances country can gain. The last one is the mode 4, where temporary transfer of the services. Say for example, if you have got a big metro construction project, for example, you send the designs and everything, consulting services from the country digitally. Then the last mile, engineers can go and close the program, the project, and come back. Or nurses can go for a short duration. Teachers can go. This is mode 4. So it makes services sector very, very complex and unique. And that's where we have our role to play with the industry. Now coming back to the e-commerce. If you see, when I believe in 92 onwards, we started talking about e-commerce. And very incidentally, I would like to mention my very first organization, which was a part of ITPO. And I think we were the only organization which were actually trying to provide the information about overseas buyer digitally. People used to go to ITPO library and get the contacts of buyers. And likewise, get the details of the product or services through what? Through directories, through printed catalogs. At that time, that organization, I joined it in 1998. We were in that space of providing the information. So there was an organization, UNCTAD, United Nations Center for Trade and Development. So under UN, so they created a kind of network. Every day we used to download the information and make a print copy and used to pass on to all exporters. And that was the first instance when we came across, and IT was of course booming at that time, and then there was Y2K issue also at the same time. And then for the very first time, I can mention, on Rediff, I got a watch, wristwatch bought through the e-commerce. The mode of payment was through bank and whatever. And at that time, we were just exposed how revolutionary the ideas can become. And when we talk about e-commerce, I must mention that at that time, we were actually trying with the idea of making ease of payment. We were trying to build the trust. Because I remember in Gems and Jewelry Export Promotion Council's program, we were to give a presentation on the information, and I overheard somebody saying that if I have to buy a diamond, I would like to touch and feel that, and then only we can buy. But now today you buy clothes or whatever is without that touch and feel. Now that's the long way we have traversed, and that is built on the trust. So when we talk about e-commerce, trust becomes very important. And it is going to, actually it has changed a lot about the experiential, because when we go to a shop, it is the experience we gather there, and then we make a decision. Here you open any Amazon or whatever site you open, you see the product, what you do there, you go review, try to find out the number of reviews over there, and then you move on. So the entire services the entire experience has come into a virtual space. Now, trust is important. At the same time, regulatory challenges have also come. You will still find certain products or services not getting sold or bought on this platform. So as a platform, those challenges we need to address, and I believe like in certain sectors, regulated sectors, it is being handled. When we talk about e-commerce, often we end up talking about more about the domestic market space. And I'm not going to talk about the data because I found a lot of discrepancy, not discrepancy, lot of diversity or lot of variation in the data. But when we talk about e-commerce within a country or e-commerce across the border, immense potential exists. Now there also, how the platform makes it feasible, what are the regulations coming up, and what are the benefits as an individual exporter you can get. Those are the issues that is being discussed these days. And I must mention from this platform itself that in the upcoming foreign trade policy, a new chapter on e-commerce is being included for the first time. So that, and I do feel that a lot of inputs which can come up from here can also be points of suggestion for us over there. I won't take much time with these words. Thank you so much for organizing this. Thank you for listening to me. Thanks to the August gathering on the dais. Thank you so much. Thanks.
Mr. Sareen and Mr. Kulpreet Ahuja for inviting us. Thank you, Dr. Sinha, for a lovely introduction. It's a good initiative by Mr. Ahuja and Kulpreet, Mr. Sareen and Kulpreet Ahuja, for getting the service providers and the service users under one roof. Usually e-commerce is such a vast domain where you don't know what is happening, what are the new things, and I must congratulate for putting this up together. Especially, I think it's the first time you're doing it, and congratulations for that. E-commerce, as we know, is the future of Indian economy, because especially after COVID, where most of us were using e-commerce for practically everything. So it has got its importance now. Government of India also has come up with a platform called as ONDC, which is Open Network Direct Commerce, which is a large platform which enables small trade users to use it for your businesses. And I would just like to congratulate and thank you all, and all the best. And thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Rathore. I would like to thank both the gentlemen for acquainting us with the insights and opportunities for e-commerce ecosystem to evolve many folds. These are the most valuable inputs that we've got from both of you today. And here at this juncture, ladies and gentlemen, I would invite you all to join us in the networking coffee and tea break in the coffee lounge outside, and let's mingle with each other and evolve, and let's go to the newer heights. Thanks to Entrepreneurs Media for giving us this opportunity. Let us all give us a huge round of applause. We shall be joining you all soon after the short coffee break. Thank you. International mentor, my bad. Author and a TEDx speaker, a Josh speaker, and holds 2 patents under her hat. And the list goes on, ladies and gentlemen. So may I invite Dr. Nancy Sinha on stage as a moderator for our first panel discussion.
Thank you so much.
It was a pleasure. I now take the opportunity to invite our speakers for this segment. I would like to invite on stage Ms. Archana Gulia. She is the Chief Creative Officer with ODM Digital Services, leading the creative content production, both visual and textual, using graphics and branding tools. With an experience of 18 plus years in fashion and product design, content creation, and aesthetic experience, she has been a great design resource for the Indian retail industry. Ladies and gentlemen, she has also been into extensive design and development of sports goods, ethnic apparels, and accessories with brands like Adidas, Anna, Lee Cooper, Alkis, Ashworth, and many more. Let us please invite Ms. Archana Gulia on stage with a round of applause, everyone. Welcome. Next, I would like to invite Ms. Kanchan Garg, our second speaker of the day. She is the co-founder and director at Casa Zoya, a seasoned professional with a strong and proven track record of over several years in managing, designing, and launching online fashion brands for both domestic and international markets. Welcome, ma'am. She has been ensuring profitability of the organizations through effective distribution planning to ensure maximum utilization of available resources. Having a rich experience in building successful business plans in coordination with business unit heads for new products, new projects, and implementing it. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Kanchan Garg. Our final speaker for the day, Mr. Ariman Mishra, founder and CEO of 124, India's most affordable retail chain brand. Ariman Mishra, under his able leadership, has brought 124 as one of the aspiring and aiming to become in the world's largest brand retail chain. With their actions, goals, projects, programs, and inventions begin and end with the customer at the top of their mind. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together for Mr. Ariman Mishra. Welcome, sir. So these are going to be the panelists for our first discussion. The topic for the first discussion would be content creation. It's a value add to your e-commerce brand. Over to you, Dr. Rinesh.
Oh, and good morning to everyone.